What did you think was normal growing up until you realized it was just being poor? I used to think towels were supposed to be kind of crusty, like stiff, scratchy. I thought that's just how towels were after a few uses. Same with socks. We wore mismatched ones from a basket my mom kept next to the washer. It was like, grab a sock, hope the other one's close enough. Sometimes one was ankle, the other was crew. Sometimes they were damp. You just dealt with it. We didn't have a dinner table. We had a couch, a folding chair, and a milk crate. My little sister used to kneel on the floor with her plate on the couch cushion, so if she dropped food, it'd fall on something soft. Not sure why that mattered, but she did it every night. We had this one blanket in the house that was actually warm. Not thick, just warm somehow. It was blue. We all fought over it. Mom used to say, whoever's got a fever gets the blue one. No fever? Too bad. You're using the thin fleece with holes in it. I didn't know any of this was weird. Not until I went to Marcus's house in 9th grade. We were paired up for a history project. He lived 10 minutes from me, but his world was nothing like mine. First thing I noticed, his house smelled like nothing. Like clean, no-smell smell. I remember walking in and thinking, how does air smell this plain? Ours always smelled like burnt rice or bleach. His mom smiled and offered me lemonade. Not from a bottle, real lemonade. In a pitcher, with lemon slices floating in it. I didn't even know people did that. I just said thanks, and took a sip like I was used to it, but I wasn't. I was waiting for the cheap powder taste, but it never came. We worked on his laptop. I had to share an old desktop with my brother back home. It wheezed when you turned it on. Marcus had his own MacBook. He didn't even mention it like it was a big deal. Just opened it and said, let's pull up the dock. When we got hungry, he asked if I wanted to order pizza, like it was nothing. I thought maybe his mom would say no or ask him to use coupons or something, but she just called the place and ordered 2 large pizzas like it was Tuesday. No questions, no math, no hesitation. They came in 20 minutes. I ate 6 slices. No one said anything, no one counted. At my house, you take 2 slices max, and you better eat slow so nobody notices you're still hungry. That night, I didn't eat slow. When it got late, his mom offered to drive me home. On the ride, Marcus was just talking about random stuff. School, music, a girl he liked, and I was sitting there trying not to look out the window. I didn't want him to see where I lived. We pulled up to my building. The front light was out. Trash near the mailbox. I could see my brother through the window, shirtless, eating cereal out of a mixing bowl. I said, thanks for the ride, and reached for the door. His mom said, anytime, sweetheart. That hit me weird. No one calls me that. Next week, Marcus asked if I wanted to hang out again. Said we could go to the movies. I said I didn't have money. He said he'd cover it. No big deal. I told him I couldn't. He just nodded. I didn't hang out with him again. Something about it made me feel loud. Like just being around him made all my shit obvious. Not because he said anything, just because he didn't have to. After that, I started washing my socks in the sink. I used dish soap and dried them on the heater. I saved up for my own towel, one that was soft. I hid it in my backpack so no one else could use it. I started skipping lunch at school. I told people I wasn't hungry. Really, I was saving the money. Took months, but I bought a used Chromebook off this guy from church. The first thing I did was open Google Docs. I just stared at the blank page. Didn't type, just looked at it. It felt like mine.